possibly the last time of the year we go harvesting dahlias. I've got a few orders going out tomorrow. Officially, our season is finished, but as is often the case, I decide some relatively arbitrary point in advance and on the season goes. So I'm going to cut every single last dahlia and send them out in tomorrow's bouquet orders. Hello, my name is Georgie Newbery. I'm a flower farmer and florist based between fashionable Bruton and up-and-coming Wincanton here in very sunny southwest England in Somerset. And today is probably the last dahlia cut of the year. I've got a dahlia workshop online a bit later, so I'm going to cut everything I've got. They will go out in tomorrow's orders, which are really the last flower orders of the year. I keep saying this, but you know. So I thought you'd like to cut along with me and see what we've got. If you enjoy the clips that we put on this channel, please do subscribe. You can press the bell icon and we'll tell you when we've got new clips coming out. And if you find the tips and tricks I give you as I go along helpful, then you can always buy me a coffee, for which I'm very grateful. The link is in the blurb for each clip. And obviously you're not really buying me a coffee. It's just a way of supporting these little clips, and the more you support them, the more I feel like doing them. So it's a virtuous circle, I don't know. Anyway, on we go. Let's get cutting. Despite a really dodgy start, they have been absolutely fantastic. This one, this little cafe au lait, has been flowering its socks off all summer. And they come up dinky doos, so I love them. I'm going to cut all of these. Here, Bracken Ballerina is a real favourite of mine. It's a water lily type, and I've had these plants, well, I've had the tubers probably for 10 or 15 even years, and they come back true. So I'm very pleased with those. Onwards and upwards. Here is beloved, dear beloved Blackjack. Oh yes. Who, all of them are slightly smaller headed now because I've been cutting them all summer. And so they're really flowering on dinky side shoots. Personally, I quite like it. Look at this one. Here is, sometimes they come out sort of twisted and turned around, but I like the drama of it. Look at those flying petals. This one is Shiloh Noel, a real favourite of mine, and everybody who knows me knows how much I love this one. This is Tartan, which when it's in full flower slightly earlier in the season is way taller than me. I love that. Here is more Shiloh Noel. Look, just, it's that delicate sort of ghosty colour. She's a real favourite of mine. She's sort of like she's like a subtle, look at her. She's like a more subtle cafe au lait. That's what I think. I do like these butterfly series ones. They're a sort of, they're almost a single, and then they have a little clump of petals in the middle. This is Caribbean something. Never quite sure what. And I've had her for a couple of years and she didn't do well in the other beds, but she's been really happy here. So I'm very pleased I kept her despite being tempted to be rid of her. This also a huge favourite of mine, ALJO. I call her Alho, but I have no idea really how you pronounce her. She's a really good peach, quite a dark peach. There's enough yellow deep in the middle of her to make her really peachy, and she's really useful. Dearly beloved, this one, Chat Noir. And look, and these ones are coming up smaller as well because it's really the end of the season. We're getting quite cold nights now, although it's probably about 16, 17 degrees now. The cold nights just don't give them the splash that they had. But hey, I'm not complaining when I'm still getting, here we have Cafe au Lait Rose, which I really have loved. They come up very heavy stemmed when they first flower. early in the season, but once they get going and you're cutting into the side shoots, they're really useful. And because I can never have enough, there's a little bit more of my lovely Shiloh Noel. How beautiful is she against the dark hedge? I was a bit worried when I planted them out that the dahlias on the right here under the hedge would suffer from the shade, but actually they've been absolutely fine and flowered away, and the hedge has really protected them from the wind and the rain and the weather. I haven't staked my dahlias at all this year, not that I ever do because I'm a lazy old thing, but look, more alho here, very happy despite being almost shaded out all day, so I'm very pleased with that. And this one over here, one more to mention, David Howard, which is really quite orange on its own, but look at it with its beautiful black leaf, very stylish. If I were a gardener rather than a flower farmer, I would not be without good old David Howard, because I love that aubergine tinge to the leaf, and anybody who knows me will tell you how keen I am on a spot of orange. What do I cut my dahlias with? Well, I cut them with my trusty Niwaki snips. That's what I cut them with. So there I've cut 150 dahlias. I'm fitting more in the buckets because they're smaller heads than they were a month or even a couple of weeks ago. 150 dahlias, but it's a 400 stem cut for this end of season cut. So I'm adding in some sunflowers, aren't they lovely? And I'm going to go and see what else I can cut to go with my beautiful dahlias. Let's keep moving. So there's a nice little cut for mid-October. It's the 13th of October here in southwest Somerset. If I were to say what kind of zone we were, as in American zoning for flower growing, I'm not sure the exact zone, but I'd say we were pretty much Pacific Northwest. We are less hot in the summer and less cold in the winter, but warm and wet with a good long season. So I think that's probably the closest I can get. It's not looking bad for this time of year. My goodness, I need that drone, don't I? Oh yes, I think I better make Arlo an offer. This is the studio dog. Her name is Tea Cake, and you can see how much she loves having her photograph taken. Anyway, enough of that. So here we have a lovely mix, and I'm going to make 5 bouquets with this lot. Lovely. So here's the first one, and as you can see, it's a biggie. Here are 100 stems in a great big enormous bouquet. I've made it as 3 and tied it together because I can't possibly hold 100 stems in one hand, but makes a a good reel on Instagram when you do this, I can tell you that. Anyway, onwards and upwards, plenty more to do. I'll pop it in its big vase. I do different size vases so I can tell what I've got to do. So that's the big bouquet vase, and then the rest of them are middle-sized bouquets, so they go middle-sized vases. Right, better get on. And this one's a slightly smaller bouquet, I promise you. This is only 75 stems. And même si je le dis moi-même, j'ai vu pire pour la fin de la saison. Okay, excuse my French, but occasionally I get overexcited and then I speak French. I like it, do you? And here's another one. So this is another 75 stemmer. Look at those fabulous amaranth. I just think they're just more fun than a picnic. And I grow them really for this time of year because they're like bullion on a very expensive pair of curtains. That's what I think. Anyway, quite pleased with that. Hope you like it too. Still 2 more to go, onwards and upwards. And look, the skill is, in my job, to just cut enough and try and use it all up. So it's been a good day. And here are all the bouquets. And it's time to pack them up now. Though I say it myself, this one, Shiloh Noel, just say yes. And I'll give you a couple of other favourites. This one, American Dawn, more Shiloh Noel, Chat Noir, and that is probably it. And I do love the way, oh yeah, old favourite, Bracken Ballerina, this one. And this is Cafe au lait, very late season Cafe au lait, they go very pale. And here, much beloved, Aljo, Aljo. So there we go. The last dahlia bouquets of the year from Common Farm Flowers. Nice little mix, though I say it myself. Right, I need to pack all those up now and get them ready to be collected. They are the last dahlia bouquets of the year. Next July we'll start again. It's quite good, I think, to be very much driven by the seasons. I think it's probably good for the old mental health. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this clip, please do subscribe. There's a bell icon. Please click it and we'll tell you when we have more clips coming up. I'm planning a whole winter of bed prep, seed ordering, book reading, all sorts of things to keep us amused until the season starts again. And if any of the tips in this clip have been useful, you can always buy me a coffee. Obviously, it's not a real coffee, but the link is in the information under the written bit under the clip description. I'm so techno bad. Anyway, that's how I can describe it. And you can always buy me a coffee. It's not a real coffee. It just supports the making of these clips, for which I'm very grateful. And the more I'm supported, the more I feel like making the clips. Anyway, onwards and upwards. I will see you all soon. Have a good afternoon, evening, tomorrow, rest of the year. See you soon.